Disney loves to include hidden jokes, references, and Easter eggs in all of their films, so it's no stretch to believe that their movies could contain some secret storylines and even connections to other Disney films. Some fan theories can seem a bit outlandish, but others actually really make sense and have even been proven correct. Here are 10 fan theories that will change the way you see Disney films. Belle is Jane's great-great-great-grandmother. While Turk and company are trashing the camp in Tarzan, we see Turk drumming away on a very familiar-looking tea set. In fact, it's the same tea set featured in Beauty and the Beast. But how did Jane come to own Belle's beloved tea set? The invaluable set must have been passed down through the family. The theory states that Belle and the Beast flee France during the French Revolution and wind up in Germany. A couple of generations later, and the Duke of Weselton from the movie Frozen is born. After the events in Frozen, he is forced to move to Great Britain during the Industrial Revolution. A couple more generations pass and we have Jane Porter, a British girl with an eccentric father, a yellow dress, and a wild taste in men, just like Belle. Tamatoa is Sebastian. Tamatoa is a giant magical crab in the Disney animated film Moana. In the movie, he is obsessed with shiny things, which leads him to collect and hoard a massive amount of objects. Does that sound like any other sea creature you know of? Tamatoa leaves the realm of monsters and, using his magical powers, changes himself to look like the other crabs in the sea and adopts a new identity. During his travels, he comes across Atlantica and is attracted there because of how shiny it is. Eventually, he meets an impressionable teenage mermaid, Ariel, who he attaches to and continues his obsession of collecting through her. If that's not enough, spoiler, there is an after the credits scene in Moana where Tamatoa is stuck upside down and says, "If my name was Sebastian and I had a cool Jamaican accent, you'd totally help me." Frozen, Tangled, and The Little Mermaid, all connected. During the First Time in Forever musical number in Frozen, there is a short moment when observant Tangled fans can catch a glimpse of Rapunzel and Flynn arriving for Elsa's coronation. This led to the theory that Anna and Elsa's parents were actually traveling to Flynn and Rapunzel's wedding when their ship capsized. 3 years later, the Tangled duo shows up at the coronation. The theory goes even further and says that Anna and Elsa's parents' ship is the same one that Ariel explores in the beginning of The Little Mermaid. As if that weren't enough, some people even believe that the parents didn't die, but that they had a baby at sea, made it to land after the shipwreck, and died at the paws of a leopard. That part of the theory, however, has been debunked. Boo is the witch in Brave. Boo is obsessed with finding her friend Sully after having an amazing adventure with him. Unable to find out how doors can be used to travel, Boo studies magic her whole life and becomes a witch. She finally discovers how to travel through doors, but instead of crossing between worlds, she travels through time. Boo continues to study magic throughout time to discover how to use the doors to find Sully. She eventually stays in the past to study magic back then, and takes up wood carving as a hobby as well as to make her own doors to travel through. This whole theory stems from a single wood carving in Brave. One with a keen eye can spot a carving of Sully in the witch's house. The theory also explains how the witch can disappear every time she goes through a door. Aladdin, set in a post-apocalyptic future. Genie claims to have been stuck in the lamp for 10,000 years. After he gets out, he mentions knowing about 3rd century fashion. He also does impressions of modern-day celebrities and creates modern-day inventions like microphones, cars, and slot machines. Obviously, Genie couldn't know about these things unless he was there during the time, and therefore must be set in the future. No modern technology is present in the movie because it was all wiped out. What if Genie knows all of this because he can see the future, you ask? Then he wouldn't have been shocked when Aladdin tricked his way out of the cave or when Aladdin sets him free in the end. There's also evidence of modern-day inventions existing in the official Aladdin video game in the form of a stop sign. Andy's mom is Emily. In Toy Story 2, Jessie recalls having an owner and how much they loved each other. During this heartbreaking scene made more heartbreaking by Sarah McLachlan's song, Jessie's owner Emily drops off Jessie in a box to be donated. We get quick glimpses of Emily during the scene, and she looks incredibly similar to Andy's mom. Need more proof? The hat that Andy wears looks just like the hat Emily wears. It is only missing the white stripe around the base, but you can see on Andy's hat that it used to be there. Most likely it fell off with age. Pete Docter, the writer behind Toy Story 1 and 2, has said that the backstory is a little bit different from this theory, but that's all the information we have. Hopefully we'll get more information in Toy Story 4. Carl is dead. A bit morbid and sweet at the same time. This theory claims that Carl Fredricksen dies the night before they come to pick him up to take him to the retirement home. The adventure that ensues afterwards is his journey to find his wife in the afterlife. This would explain all of the bizarre things that happen, from a house being lifted by balloons to a device that allows humans to hear and decipher a dog's thoughts. Everything in this movie is actually symbolic. For instance, Carl's house represents his desire to stay in the real world, which he must release before he can move on. Russell is his guardian angel, and he takes the form of a kid to represent Carl and his wife's longing for a child. Ariel's mother killed by Captain Hook. This one is far less sweet and much more morbid. In the direct-to-video prequel Ariel's Beginning, we get to see Ariel's mother Athena, who looks a lot like Ariel. She also bears a very strong resemblance to one of the mermaids in Peter Pan. The theory goes that the mermaid is Athena. Sadly, in Ariel's Beginning, Athena is killed by pirates. Who are these pirates? Captain Hook's crew. Alice is trippin'. For some, this may be a go-to movie to watch while tripping themselves, but is Alice in the movie tripping as well? She may just be in a really weird place, but we can't help but notice all of the drug references in the movie. First of all, our friend the caterpillar is sitting around smoking hookah all day. What he's actually smoking is unknown, but his eagerness to share his mushrooms with Alice may point to something stronger than tobacco. Alice then eats the mushrooms, which makes her grow and shrink. Between a floating cat, singing flowers, and an army of playing cards, it's no stretch to think that Alice might have gotten into something she shouldn't have. The evil queen is Rapunzel's mother. These two are quite similar. Physically, they look a lot alike, both in their old age form as well as when they appear young. The two women own similar daggers as well. They are also both obsessed with being young and looking beautiful, and they both try to use younger women to enhance their beauty. They both have no problem killing people to obtain what they want either. In fact, when Eugene is stabbed and tangled, you can see a red apple above him as a subtle nod to the evil queen. Sure, some of these theories are far-fetched, and it's easy to say it's a cartoon, just let it go, but it's much more interesting and fun to try to piece things together. You never know what you might discover. Do you have a fan theory of your own? Tell us about it in the comments. If you like this video, click that thumbs up button, and don't forget to subscribe to CBR to see more videos on movies, video games, comic books, pop culture, and more.